Hey guys, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Twitchi, playing the role of Icarus here, and looking down at the research we have available to us. Let's pause the game. I can see that we are staring down the information matrix. There's a little bit in our future. It's probably a next episode thing rather than this episode, but you never know. I do get things done occasionally. To be able to make that a viable option, we need to get a few things beforehand. We need particle control, which gives us a new recipe for the silicon crystals. That's nice. Things that if you were watching last episode you'd know about, but right now to be able to get all of that unlocked, we need to get the high strength materials. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. High strength materials, what do you mean lack of research materials? I disagree, like, very strongly. We're down this way. Here we go. These materials over here, no, it looks like we've got all the research materials we could possibly want. Doing the high strength materials, it just literally needs some titanium and some graphene. That's no problem. We can put those two together. They are in the logistics system, but that then enables us to open up the Proliferator Mark III, which takes the Proliferator Mark II and some high strength materials. I think this might actually be the play that we make today. We're going to go that. We're going to go that. That's cool. So over back at the beginning where I was before I got distracted, you can see that over here, this is where like the beginning of the factory starts, and then we've got the proliferation station over here where I make the proliferator. We make number one and we make number two. We make the diamonds for the number two. I think actually what I want to do is move all of this over there, and I don't know how we're going to make sure this coal gets used up, but don't worry, I will. Research complete. Alright, that's the high strength materials already. I have gone ahead and pasted a Mark 1 station down here. Things are going to get a little weird because we need to try and take things off in different directions, but it's a good start. Maybe I'll put this a little close here. We want to be able to get a splitter right in there like that, and then we can extend this out here. And of course I don't have the Mark 1s, but you know what? That's okay. We can upgrade these. Wait. Two Mark 2s. And those I do have in my inventory. Okay, well, I had some. Turns out I'm not carrying enough. Let's increase the number there. At some point, the range of the logistics drones will be far enough that I don't need to come back to here. But here we go. A couple of fidget spinners, everybody's calling them, coming and making deliveries to me. Beautiful. Pretty much on the exact opposite side of the planet from the mall over here. Makes things a little awkward to come back and forth, but that's fine. And there's the Proliferator Mark III. That's exactly actually what I'm building here, and then we'll build the materials for the Mark III factory afterwards. I need to pull this line in. Okay, so we're at the bit where I've got new Mark II Proliferator coming out. We're ready to take over, and I'm destroying some of the last bits. But for us to be able to move on to Mark III, we're going to need some new bits and pieces, and one of those is made with the graphene we were producing last time. What is this? And remember, diamonds are just carbon. You can burn them all in a generator. Oh no, not a dark fog cluster. This is going to be so difficult to repel. I don't know what I shall do against these 10 ships. Basically, I've got so many missiles over this planet. There's some just over there, look, that I don't feel even slightly threatened by this very small fleet that's incoming. Maybe I should feel a little bit more threatened than I do, but I just don't. I still haven't discovered the best way to observe these incoming attacks. Are they actually coming at me? They are actually coming towards me. My big fear is that one day they'll go after a planet that I'm not stood on. Then I've not protected any of the other planets. Little bit of an oversight by myself there, but the dark fog just never seemed to really care about the other planets. The red dot is the one we're looking for. Maybe if I just kind of walk over this way, we'll be able to see the response from my base here. Depleted. 6 kilometers away. Let's see if we can take flight and get to the other side of the planet. Might be easier to see. Also, I'm not sure I put that many missiles over here. They're still just up somewhere. I'm hearing missiles go though. Do you hear them go? I hear them go. Look, there they go. All right, and they're firing over this way. Okay, there we go. There's the attack. That's fine. I'll stand next to this and we'll watch it happen. I mean, 10 is a big number, but it's not that big. Again, I wish I'd stood next to one of these so we can see how the state of the shield. We've already destroyed one of the vessels. That's pretty good. I don't know how to read this. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. There's some damage being done, and we are consuming more energy to fix it again. But there we go. We've wiped them out in the time it took for us to even look up what our shields were doing. Crazy. I'm sure at some point they're going to become a threat, but now is not that time. Oh, whilst I'm here, I got repeated notifications that the stone has been running out. Is it this one? Yeah, look, this one's already run out. This is the stone patch next to the Tree of Contemplation, if you remember that. Cool. I want to try and get as many mining machines around this as possible to take out these 28,000. But I don't know an efficient pattern. If anybody knows an efficient pattern, let me know. I don't know whether to like push them in tight, pull them up here, just go. Let's try something like this. I'll be able to get corners for all directions. Yeah. No. Okay, we're getting a little abstract here, as I did just a little bit run out. Yeah, look at that. That's brilliant. Okay, so we've got that many around a single cluster. I don't know what the record for mining machines around a single cluster is, but I mean, this has got to be getting close, right? Feel like I could have got another one in here somehow. I don't know how, but I feel like I could have got 8. Yeah. But this does remind me that at some point we're going to have problems with the stone supply over here. This is the entire supply for all of our sulfuric acid. So we should probably figure that out. Somewhere around here needs to be a planetary logistics unit that just spits out stone. And maybe light oil as well? Yeah. Be better than having this line leading all around here. Yeah. Maybe that is the route. Okay, we're gonna build a little thing over here today. Let's change the color. I mean, you know what? I don't know what color. We have just got high strength materials. Am I gonna make it white? There you go. Why not? Hardest bit of any build. Just trying to come up with a palette for the floor. Okay, so I'm going to start with an interstellar logistics hub. It has to be interstellar because one of the things that I'm calling for, so let's get proliferation on there, though I suppose really we're going to be on Proliferator Mark 3. No, we'll start with this one. We'll go around and change them all at some point. Let's pull this down to 1,000 so we're not messing with the whole economy. The other thing I want is titanium. We're going to call that local demand as well. Again, let's bring it down to 1,500. We want the graphene, same numbers there. And then we're going to be pushing things back into here. And that's going to be this. The carbon nanotube. Yes, please. When did this go up to 100? Oh, it's because it's interstellar, not planetary. All right, I got it. Okay, nice, neat in and outs. We've got titanium on this belt, we've got graphene on the middle belt, and then we'll be pushing products in there. Okay, that's good. Let's start with a nice little splitter because we're going to want to go in several directions with this. Let's try materials down the middle, outputs out the side. I don't know if that's gonna be what we want, but that's what I'm gonna try here. This could end up being reversed, but I think this will be fine. Wrong building? What are we making it in? Oh yeah, look, it is indeed in the chemical plant. Oh man, I don't have that many chemical plants. Okay, not the most space-efficient layout that I could have come up with, but I think it does the job. If we now just copy and paste it out to the other side, that will be a fair good, and at least to get us started here. Okay, now that we're backing up on both sides, let's go build a proliferator. And just like that, another row of machines down. We've got the, forgot the name, the carbon nanotubes coming down out of the interplanetary logistics system that we've got over here. And that then, of course, is being fed into this assembler machine with the level 2 proliferator, and that then comes out to level 3. And of course, this now leaves us with a little bit of a problem. Oh, that was a mouthful to get out in one go. I decided we'd just jump forwards rather than do the building of yet that again, because the actual issue lies here in the distribution of the proliferator. Now, coming down this way, this is no problem. Okay, I've got no problem with this. The proliferator is just going to end up making its way down through the system, making everything to the higher level of proliferation, and we have a good time, right? But there's another issue. Ooh, look how close this is to being worn out here. This guy's nearly going to wear out. The actual problem lies with this. I don't want this to be like this anymore. I want this to be on the Mark III proliferator and its supplies, and we could get down to like a couple of hundred. But the problem there, of course, well, for one, we've just filled up my entire image. Let's just delete those. I don't think I want those. But the second thing is, so even if I then like remove everything off of this, wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this. How am I supposed to... let's try deleting that, and then maybe it had the level 2 proliferator just kind of in its memory. Okay, there goes level 3 right now. But the problem is, of course, if I come down here and click the control panel, you can see these are the interstellar logistics, and we've got 2 other systems over here. I don't want you to have any. Let's turn all of these all the way down. And I want these to get run out before we then start asking for the Mark III. The problem is none of them seem to be being used. Let's go over to the planetary ones and see like which ones over here are also being used. We've got a supply. Oh, look, this is the supply that we were just looking at. Okay, interesting. So they both appear on this screen. So the thing to note is this little proliferator here has an S next to it, but this one has a D. That means it demands... Did I just watch that number go down? That would be good if that is actually what happened. Yeah, those numbers are going down. Should we go and find out where some of these are? I want to find the proliferators that need to be changed over. Look, this one's getting used all the time. This one is right behind me, right? I know where this one is. It is, of course, this one over here. And yeah, look, the proliferators are being used in quite large amounts. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna check. I really wanted to use all the stuff rather than just you know, make it happen. But we're gonna empty my inventory and then collect everything together and delete it just like that. So already the lines are starting to wear out. Look at this. That's kind of cool. So now we should be able to filter level 3, right? Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. And we should be able to now filter level 3. I've got a lot of that in my future now, right? Like a lot of it. One thing that I do need to sort out though, and that's something down the end here. I have some problems here. Ooh, look, the problems are actually varied. Okay. The big problem is the fact that we are feeding off of the output here to proliferate the lines, and that's not how I want to do this. What I want to do instead is to take this line here, because it's one that's going to get the level 3 upgrade, and then maybe run this all the way down here. That's how I'd like to do it. Let's see. I'm gonna break that. That's what we're gonna break right there, and then somehow I'm gonna get this into the system. Let's come up to there and in like that, and then I feel like maybe I should have gone the other way, but I'll figure it out. It's not a problem. Okay, and hopefully now, if we actually, let's do it this way, we just clear all of these out. There we go, Mark III's coming through. All right, clean the system, Wait, so this, oh yeah, demand, it is right, okay. So we've got a supply, we've got a demand. We need to go through and find others that do that, and I have no idea what order they put. Have I got add essentials, target facility? Okay, ooh, it shows me it's all the way over here. Okay, I'm just gonna walk around and try and find systems with proliferator on it. I mean, there's bound to be some around somewhere, right? And we will change those. Like at the back there. Are you? Yeah, look, I can see green lines there. That's pretty cool. So if we come in here and go, actually clear those settings, and could you please demand the blue stuff at 500? Great, that's a good start. And then we want to come in here and change the filter to blue. Didn't like it. Blue. Didn't like it. Do I have to clear the line? Is that a thing? Can we clear it a bit. Okay, oh, it's now changed to... Okay, it remembers... Oh, I'm taking it out of the spray coater. No, I'm adding it into the spray coater, but like the spray... I can interact with the spray coater with the control key is what I'm trying to say. Interesting. Well, I guess I'm just gonna do the same around for everyone here. Walking around, I've put a few of these guys down. They're traffic monitors. I'm seeing if there's well, basically I'm watching for this coal to run out, and also over here, of course, we're over by the Tree of Contemplation. I would like this stone to run out as well. You remember me putting these all around here? So I've put down some traffic monitors to let me know when they are done, and then I can just delete them, and we have to panic and think about how we replace them. Okay, I believe this was the last one I needed to set up to make this flow round properly. If we come into the control panel, we can see that they're all blue. If anybody sees any green boxes somewhere that I'm not aware that I haven't moved, let me know. I'd like to know. I'm sure there's some there somewhere, but I couldn't see them. I couldn't see them at all. Okay, one of my alarms just went off. Okay, let's come up over here, and of course I got told that the node had been built out. We've run out of coal over here, and look, we need to panic about it. Really, we kind of do. How's this guy doing? Fail and no cargo. Let's just turn that over. I totally wasn't messed up over that side, and I had to go and reset it to make sure it worked properly. No, that totally wasn't a thing. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is try and figure out where we're going to get a planetary logistics system up here. I'm going to transport. We're going to just get one of these bad boys, and yeah, just literally just here. That's all we need. I wouldn't see why we would need it anywhere else. I think that's fine. We've also got, look at this, a proliferator unit just here. So literally all we need to do is pull a bunch of stone out of here. I don't know if we've got stone actually in the system anywhere as it stands right now, but I'm going to throw that in there. We're going to break this line, and we're going to do this. And now I'm going to go and find out whether we do have stone anywhere. I don't think we do, but I do think I know how to solve it. As this is our stone supply over here. I need to stand next to some of this and stop it complaining at me. You can see that this is the supply coming in from like down yonder, and of course, how do I get rid of this? How do I turn this off now? Down yonder, and we've got another one that we're trying to clear over there so we can move our magnets next to it and have a nice little tidy system. I'm going to wait for my power to refuel because it turns out that's taking longer than I thought it would. Okay, so I've set up a new planetary logistics system to supply more stone here. And now what I'm going to do is backtrack these stone lines and try and put them into the planetary logistics system. Possibly also this copper. Yeah, you see this little confluence of lines here. I think this is probably where we're going to end up doing it. In fact, I'm so confident I'm going to cut some lines just like this, and we're going to throw it all in here. So I was putting in the stone and copper lines for new planetary logistics system that I was just talking about. Here we got the copper and stone going in, and they're coming out towards their respective ferni. And I've noticed that there's no proliferator in the system, which marks a bad situation for me. I'm just going to stand here while I power up. In fact, we're going to go that way. We can see the proliferator is over there. We can see that it is indeed going into the interstellar logistics hub over here, but we have one more I've got to set this up over here, else I'm going to be dying for electricity the whole time. If we come and set up over here, you can see that we've got all of the yellow cubes we could possibly want. It's diamonds. Look, we're short of diamonds. Okay, if that's the case, I will make this so. I'd kind of like to move my diamond production out a bit, actually. So as promised, I've moved the diamonds to the left of the planetary logistics over here. I keep trying to call them the interstellar ones. It's not it. But it turns out that actually only one line was good enough, but I did get a little bit carried away over here. So I looked at the amount of time it took. In fact, let's come into to our menu here. If we look at the proliferator here, you can see that it gets made in half a second. The next one gets made in a second, and the next one after that gets made in 2 seconds. So it's double is what I'm trying to say there. So we only needed one set of yellow proliferators to be able to feed 2 sets of green proliferators, which then went on to feed 4 sets of brown proliferators. And now I've got a bit of a problem with not being able to feed all of the proliferator out here. But I think what I'm going to do is actually cut this line here and put myself down the one that goes into the interstellar logistics over here. But I don't need it. We can put it into its own little planetary system. There's no need to put it into that, and then it can actually just be all on its own. Let me grab this here. How close are they? It needs a foundation. Hold on. Loving this magenta colored concrete right here. Can I not build it? There we go. Beautiful. So now what I actually want to do is to run some power to here. Beautiful. And then run this one into, I want to go over this way. Let's go into there. No, whatever goes in first is going to want to go into the middle port. So let's chop this like this and make that happen then. Going to go there and into the middle port. Beautiful. We can then put that in the... Why are you doing this to me? Goes into the side put. There we go. All right, okay, there we go. We got it in there eventually. In fact, let's just pop that like that. That should... Oh, it goes the wrong way. That's why. Okay, a couple of missteps, but that's everything into the planetary logistics there. Well, I say everything. I'm leaving this one line here not to go into the interstellar logistics. So we'll set that on supply, and we'll let it like feed the factory for a bit. Well, feed the remote factories for a bit. This line, in fact, is for feeding the sprawling starter base of a factory over here. This comes along and this feeds all the major belts there. But I think that's a job well done. It's a wide system. It's pretty cool. I think it's going to, as long as I can keep the throughput going, I think it's going to keep me going until, well, quite into the late game. I had to store all of the coal. I didn't want to wait for the coal miner over there anymore, so I just set that up. One thing I am finding in the system, though, is I keep finding this situation where I can turn this up and we aren't really storing much in the system. And I think mostly, I mean, one, that's down to my bad planning here. But I think I have another point of bad planning over this way. Oh, look at them go. Look at them go. This is where we make the carbon nanotubes over here. How much are we storing? Oh, no, we are storing a good amount. Okay. So some of these I've found that we're storing so little that when we suddenly want to fire the factory up in large amounts, there's not enough to go. So I've been turning a few of them up so they can keep going with us. I wonder whether it was just that I wasn't requesting enough. I mean, to be fair, we could just demand forever, but I don't think that's a good idea. Well, to be honest, I could tell you why I don't think that's a good idea, but I just don't want to do it. I realise now that I could have used a bunch of stackers to compress all this. Is it stackers? The pilers, sorry, the pilers, the new item, well, new to me item that we opened up a little while ago. But now with that all done, I think it's time we started taking on a challenge that I don't think anybody ever wants to do, but really knows that deep down that they have to get on with it. I want to untangle all of this and try and get it into the interplanetary logistics system over there. The first thing I'm going to do is start taking out all of these magnetic core smelters here, because they are just in the way. I don't know why I put them there. We've obviously got like a very wide and helpful operations lane, is that what I'm going to call it? Operation, where we can get things on and off the belt and stuff like that. That's going to be very handy for us if we kind of clear that off. Probably means we can do some declustering here, because we got some weird stuff going on. For instance, we go ahead and proliferate the line here. It comes down, it does some stuff and goes around the corner, and wouldn't you know, it gets proliferated again. So I think maybe we can get rid of this as well and do various other things, like, you know, I've actually prepared a little bit in advance for that, and I'm actually able to take this entire line out because it now carries on down that way. Yeah, well, that is a good camera view. Down that way, that's what I meant. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of poot around, try and figure out how to get these ore lines up onto the magnetic coils, ideally before this line empties out, though it doesn't look like it's going anywhere right now. The scary thing is, if I cut these lines, look how quick one of them empties and the other one doesn't. That I've got to try and keep on. I don't know if there's any balancing going on further down the line, but I need to keep on that. Okay, so that helped, but that is not detangling. All right, let's go over and do the next major piece. Man, it is dark on this side, but you might be able to see, lit up by the wonders of the side of the belt, that the iron ore comes in after a great big long line of ore over here. Really, we could be sending this. Look at it. It goes all the way off over in that direction. We could be sending this to the collection point over here where we've been collecting the stone and the copper. The original one that we set up to first start decluttering. I think that would be both poetic and useful. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, set that up to supply this, and then we put a little chop at the end of the lines here and just stop things flowing, and then we can see where we're going to interject, and more importantly, what planetary logistics system we're going to interject with, and tidy up some belts as we go. Look how fast this one is getting eaten. So I think what I actually want to do is move this stone planetary logistics up to the top here, and then we've got like a stone area and an iron area, copper, such forth. And then it would all just run out of this one corner. I think that will work. I'm gonna have to set it up before we can tear it down, but you know that's also cool. Maybe we can proliferate here then, and we can take that down as well. That might work out as well. Okay, so stone, iron, somewhere like that, and of course, wait, down here, proliferation, we want that as well. We want to demand all of them. Now, go with 2 stone coming out of here, and then proliferation coming out of here, and of course, we need 2 iron coming out this way. I'm hitting caps lock, not tab. Good work. Is that enough space to set these up? Yeah, 1, 2... 1, 2. Small bit of splitter action if we can. We come this way, or we're going to sneak past the power pole. There we are. Cool. And then just exactly the same this direction if we can, like that and that. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. We move this one. Oh, this is always a hard one to click. You know what? I'm going to take some of these lines out first. That was a lot there. Did you hear that? Feel that stutter? Hear that stutter. Did you feel that stutter? Grab that, pull that out there, and then this one. Bam. Okay, and now we should be set up without the need for these proliferators here. We could probably minimize this down quite a bit. Wow, look at this loop. It looks like we might actually need this splitter, but then everything else can just kind of go. I mean, that's a lot of splitter work there. Oh wait, we can do better. The question I was asking myself was, do we actually need the splitter, or can we proliferate and then pass through the proliferator? This feels like some sort of weird Escher-esque thing where you're feeding through itself. Yeah, I don't know. Feels weird, man. I've got unproliferated. Where's it coming from? Where's it coming from? Oh, no, it stopped. Okay, it must have been somewhere else. I think this is okay. We're not going to ruin production by having a few unproliferated items on the line. Oh man, this is a hot mess of proliferator here. Let's delete this. Why is it asking me that? What's important? Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, no, delete that. Thank you. Man, that kind of worried me. I don't know why it gave me that warning. Oh, look at all these things. Let's delete a bunch of this. And then when it all falls apart, we'll figure out how to fix it, right? I mean, to be fair, I've got a lot of stone that we're going to work through. This is the boxes that I put all the stone over here into while I was trying to work it away to at least have enough room for this. And I actually like this this extra space in the middle, because eventually we're going to have this room open up, and then we can either expand the iron smelting or the magnet core smelting if that gets a little bit more in demand than we expected. The real question, of course, is how do we get this now into a planetary logistics, and what does this actually go to? What does it need? I feel like we need to actually split this, maybe split this here and put, well, I don't know about right there, but another planetary logistics to pick up the magnets. Maybe even bring this one down here, make it just for the iron products, the magnets, the iron plates, and the steel. How do I get that in this space though? I mean, we could send the proliferator elsewhere and it kind of just fits there. That's where it needs to be. Okay, all right, we can do this, Okay, planetary logistics right there, and we should be able to just kind of pick everything up, right? Tell you one problem. We got the proliferator all the way down here. Sure would be nice if it was, yeah, like right here. That spot there, that would be great. Okay, it's not the prettiest, but I intend to move this as well at some point. Maybe over to the stone area, I'm not sure. So we'll be able to deal with that. All right, we were waiting for this to break and see how we could move things around, and so far not a great deal. Oh, the stone is about to break. Look, well, I bet if we do that. Why is it not sending stuff? Oh, because it doesn't have stuff there yet. Reverse the path. Okay, away it goes. So I have been coming to my inventory fairly regularly and control clicking in the middle, and it moves all the fuel over. I've just discovered through that method that the proliferator is fuel. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. It's made out of coal. I didn't know. Anyway, I've been trying to make sense of what's been going on down here as well. I've come along and I've put a proliferation line onto the output of this line here. Now, this line went off to, well, it still does, off to the factory at large to be used in various things that metal plates need to be used in, whether it be stamping. Is it used in the circuits? I don't know. Yeah, whether it's being stamped in the circuits or used in used as structural components for stuff. It's all needed out there, and the rest goes off on this other line. We've got this second line right here, in fact, goes up the back to the planetary logistics station that we set up earlier on in the series. Right now, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's what I want to do. I want to dismantle this bit right here. I want to reverse the path, and I want to send this one off to the factory, and then this one goes into this planetary logistics station. We'll put you there. Thank you very much. Limit you to 500. Probably don't need to, especially as the interplanetary logistics station also deals with the iron ingots coming from our other planet. So yeah, that actually comes in via this line, and if we ever run out on here, it will supplement. But that, like I say, is not where I want this going now. So we'll cleave that off there. Indeed, I'm going to take all of this away from here, and we're just going to run it. If I can. Oh, I've done it again. Look, it's this one. Oh no, I've got to try and connect the. Oh, there it was. Connect the belt to the end of the belt line. There we go. It doesn't like it when it's inside the mouth of the sprayer like that. Okay, and then this should then be picking up those beautiful. I'll tell you what I've not done is automatically deployed the logistics drones. Not that they need to go anywhere, because our system is already quite full of this stuff. It's just a rearrangement. So down here, I once again want to do this. You go into there, and we go, actually, that one's more important. Thank you very much. All right, great. Now we got to try and tidy up what we've just broken. They're so compact down here. This line goes, that goes. This line goes here. I may have broken too much by pressing shift. Let's walk through and see. I think it just went in there, so we're probably okay. We're under assault. I was waiting for it, to be fair, but as always, I don't think it's going to be that much of a threat. 10 vessels incoming. At some point, we need to learn to go out and chase these guys down, the hive. But the problem is, each one of these grey little blobs here is a different type of enemy, and we need to try and take all of those down before we can actually get down and into the hive itself. So that will be an interesting challenge when it arises. Waiting for those vessels to be incoming. They're still like a good fraction of an AU away for the moment, so we can just like bask and rejoice in the fact that we've got this laid out. I wonder if, okay, here's the next thing we need to worry about. How do we get the steel to be proliferated this side and then move it into the planetary logistics? I think we can figure out the proliferation this side, but the planetary logistics, that might be a bit of a mission. It's like all the way over there. Okay, where are you? Still 0.47. They're taking their time. They are forming up on the edge of the Dyson sphere. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see how it's coming down here right now. To be fair, I think we're gonna be entirely fine. I don't know how close these guys need to get before we actually open up with the missile barrage. I know we're gonna have a lot. This is where I am, right? Yeah, there's this little pointer here. So we should be able to see them if I look sunwards. Let's look sunwards and up, and they're like up there some. Is that them? Is that them? That's them right there. Okay, where's my missiles? There they go. Beautiful. Planetary defenses are a thing. They're right. I'm trying to look backwards myself. Let's fly over this way and have a look. Land. This shouldn't be like even a slight issue. Where are they going? They're forming up elsewhere again. They're just being blown up before they even really get a chance to do anything. Oh, planetary lasers. Planetary shields are being deflecting the lasers. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I feel safe. I don't feel like we're in any trouble here. So is like green the shield and then red is the hull? Is that what we're seeing here? That could be. That could be. All right. Well. That was another attack repelled. I also removed the big thermal generator units that we had up here at this top edge, as well as another smaller refinery. And now the oil from here goes off to the planetary system to be dealt with in the big refiner. That's just a little side note as I was stood there. I've still got like the biggest of thermal generators here, but I feel like I need some way of turning this what's the word I'm looking for here? This belt on and off based on the flow from these three lines here, because they're not flowing. So we're not consuming these elsewhere. The only place things are being consumed is in the big power generation unit, and like I don't need that for that. I only need that if one of these is flowing and the other isn't, so it will chew up the other half of the products. Okay, how to proliferate the steel. Let's will you go on here? No. Okay, we can just make a bit. That's fine. There's another extraneous. What is it? Is it extraneous? No, it's doing the spraying here. Okay, I thought this was extra to needs, but it turns out no. I do need the conveyor for that though. The sprayer. Sorry. Can we get this one to go over this way? Yeah, like that. Okay, that's nicer. How about a diagonal belt? Oh, yes. Oh, that doesn't feel good, but I'm going to use it. Will it just go in there like that? Yeah, look at that. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got the steel being proliferated, and the next thing we need to do is have it being sorted off to the two places it needs to be. If I do this, that doesn't help. Okay, all right, we need to I was changing the way that the belts snap to the grid. Let's try this again like this. Will you go in now? Doesn't like it. Okay, I had to go to the grid first. Okay, that's fine. And then up to you. No. Okay, this might be more of a trouble than I thought. I mean, most things are. Okay, we got that. Beautiful. And now we'll just try and take a full belt off this way somewhere. Surely it'll be no trouble. Just look, here's a little bit of trouble right there. Let's go up to ones and then carry on this way. Perfect. Okay, and now we've got the steel in there as well. Supply 500. We might need more at some point. We might not. But that does mean I can get rid of this. No, we still need to do the copper. But actually, if I look down this way, we should have a copper planetary logistics right here. So that can be entirely dedicated just to that, happily. Okay, all from the same edge as well. Again, that works out pretty well. Only looks a little bit horrific over here where we split it off from the main bus. But yeah, that works as well. Brilliant. We'll be a fully independent and remote factory before we know what's going on. That should now mean I can disconnect here and here and then close all this down. There are of course some problems with that. We need to like reverse this path and look for the brake and put you across there. Brilliant. And then there should be similar on this side. Reverse the path, pop over, upgrade the path. Why wasn't you upgraded? And that should be this dealt with. Beautiful. Oh gosh. I think we'll just delete all that. Oh, I've stopped the circuit production somehow. I'd noticed that the glass wasn't being eaten anymore, and I was like, oh, why is that happening? Went down to the solar cell production, and it told me that the photonic crystals, or whatever they are, weren't being used, and I was like, okay, how is that the case? Over here, we are missing plates. How have I deleted this? What has gone on here? I'm sure some way we can make this work better though. I mean, here's our iron plates line. Let's walk down and see how we can connect this to here. How did this get broken? We obviously have plates going in here at some point. Okay, I just deleted and rerouted the line. That's gonna help a lot. I hope. We are now pretty much just dependent on one single line, but that's a good thing about how I've been going around and like picking up all of the stuff in the planetary logistics system. If we ever need to back something up, we just slam one of those down and put more out wherever we need it. All right, let's go and make sure that the yeah, there they go. They are flowing strong now, and hopefully the glass. Sorry, not the grass. The glass is going to start being eaten again relatively shortly, because I want all of this to drain out before I put my whacking great big new glass furnace online. We've got ourselves some stone feeds at the top here. This one is probably actually going to be split. Let's do that, because the other feed can go off to other stone dependent product. Wait. No. Yes? Yeah, no, that is the way around I wanted to do it. Okay, all right, that had me a little bit worried there, but the reason being, it's a 2-second smelt, so it's going to take a while. There's going to be these furnaces are going to be in a lot of downtime, so we don't have to worry too much about this this underflowing. I suppose we could possibly have put more. No, this should be right. The belt can take 30 a second. There's 15 on each side. They are gonna be only using half of that, and then that gets split. That should be right, which to me means I'm gonna cut the line here, and we're gonna hold our breath as this glass line wears down, and we're gonna try and replace it with the output of this. Which of course should actually be going into another planetary unit. Wait, let's no. Let's kill this. We should put one down specifically for the stone products. I don't know whether the game is going to be like too close, can't do this, but collides too close there. Okay, so it turns out you can have them pretty close to each other. Well, that's fine. I am happy with that. So in that case, I'm going to go with you go into the middle, you going to the left, and then these two combining and going to the line. How do we get you on there? We wait for it to run out and then replace it. That's what we do. Which should happen fairly soon. We're running out of stone on the lines. In fact, these ones here are now empty. It's always a little sad ripping down some of your first builds. I'm fairly sure we put this glass furnace together real early on. Okay, not quite the smooth transition I was hoping for, but it'll do. Okay, maybe I got the flow rate wrong there. Let's ask for a little bit more of this if we can. Is this not flowing out? Oh, wait, no, I haven't set the filter again. Lol. Okay, that's better. Overwhelm it with product. Okay, another thing I've done is I've made sure that our in the way stone patch over here comes down, round, up past. I mean, honestly, so we should probably replace as well, and then back over to our main glass furnace here, where it's given a priority. If it ever runs low, the planetary logistics will pick up the slack and make sure we are getting as much glass as we need. But as you can see, we're only needing maybe even half a belt right now before it actually drops down and takes on another belt's worth as well. But I think with that, I am going to say thank you very much for joining me for this adventure, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys next time, where actually I feel like we're on our way to let's come up here towards the information matrix. We need to make the particle collider and then the information matrix. This will obviously be set up in its own little place, but look, we need more plastic, more silicon, more graphene, more carbon nanotubes. These are all going to need their own factories, but I'll see you then when we're going to do that. Bye.